Pressing going live.
Yeah.
I think we're live. We're
Yes.
live. We did it. Welcome, Viviani. Welcome, everyone. And welcome along to this week's, or should I say today's, quantum energy, psychic, Akashic readings, clearings, healings. And we're excited today to take your requests all in capitals. Vivi, Annie will be doing an amazing job, the best I've ever seen, in fact, of selecting randomly your requests and then being able to work through them as your name is called. Please do say hello in the chat to make sure we know you're still here. And donations are optional and welcomed to johnbenny.com/donate. And whatever you guys give me, I split with Viviani. So thank you and welcome. How are you doing, Viviani?
Great. Doing great. Thank you.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Um, I had a really epic weekend. Saturday, I was at the open day at the local wellness center where I do psychic reflexology.
Mm-hmm.
And from it being quiet with sessions last week to end up in a situation where um, I was doing, I think, about 10 to 15 minutes per reflexology. So it'd be like a psychic reading alongside a reflexology foot massage and
Yeah.
about 10 to 15 minutes each. And I just didn't stop. At one point, this was from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., so 6 hours. I did stop to go to the toilet once, and it's just back to back. And at one point, there was queues of people, and there was and others were saying, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you waiting for?" I was like, "Oh, we're waiting for that. We want that reflexology thing with John."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was just that was really overwhelming to receive such interest and intrigue. It's hard enough to explain our work as well as things like foot massage, reflexology, and I think just doing it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
really powerful.
That's great. I haven't tried reflexology yet. One day I'll love to. And I had a friend that gave massages, so I tried Swedish massage with her. But yeah,
Oh,
one day
fantastic!
I'll try that. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm just training in Swedish massage as well, which is
Mm-hmm.
really really beautiful, especially when you start to blend these different healing modalities together. Um, it's quite incredible. Um, and then yesterday, thanks to everyone, if you're in the chat or you're watching the replay, who came along to our version of this in person is probably the best way of describing it. So we did a Halloween special of we had 12 people in the room at the wellness center, and we did 2 hours of face to face readings, clearings, healings.
That's great.
Um, and they're really magical. And it's what I love is that a little bit like when we come into these live streams, right? Is that everyone's strangers at the start, and then at the end,
Mhm.
no one wanted to leave. It was really funny that we took a photo because which helps kind of break up the energy at the end. Like I'd close down the session, and then there's just all these questions about how people would like to develop their own abilities. Can everyone
Mhm.
develop psychic abilities? Yes, you can. Um, you know
Yeah.
what's wrong with the world? How do we fix it? Like I loved the questions, and so we did that for about half an hour afterwards. So
Oh, that's
it was just really
wonderful.
magical. So yeah, that's been my weekend.
Mhm.
And I so to explain a bit about this week, we're not live tomorrow. In part because I've got more bookings at the wellness center, but also I'm not sure I'll be doing 3 a week forever. But just
Mhm.
exploring these things, and so I always say if
Mhm.
depending on the attention and support we get, then
Yeah.
yeah, you can connect with us and ask for more or donate and however you want to vote with your feet, as it were. Um,
Mhm.
and on Thursday, I have a special guest called Manda from Lotus Leo coming along, and she is. You may not have heard of her, but she was the first person to do an energy healing on me, which made me
Oh,
realize that it's
that's
real.
great. That's wonderful. I'm looking forward to meeting her.
And
Awesome.
she's an incredible soul. And it was,
Mhm.
and I love just that reflection of, the people that kind of touch you on your journey energetically.
Mhm.
Um, those experiences never go away. So yeah,
Yes.
thank you. And just responding to some of the conversation in the chat just now, it's live. Look, it's live. We're live.
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
It reminds me of those Christmas shows that some or like holiday shows that radio stations will put out, right, where they just record it. They're like,
Mhm.
"Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody," and it's like it's
Yeah,
not.
they're
It's like
not in
two
the
weeks before or
studio.
something. They're at home with their families. But yeah, you can watch the replay of this live whenever you wish.
Yes. So yeah, so nice to see you all here, and I'm so happy to hear that you had a great event. I saw the pictures; it seemed like fun. It was, it's always nice to um, meet people in person. Yeah, sure. So
Thank you
that
so
was
much.
wonderful.
Oh, and the ice bath, you were asking me about that earlier. Yeah, I tried my first ice bath, 5 degrees Celsius for 3 minutes, and then a
Mhm.
sauna. And I definitely hyperventilated for about the first minute. As Shelley, the instructor, said, "John, you're good at breathing. You know all this from your meditation stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I've never never done this." Um, but it was really powerful and definitely very clearing after doing those 6 hours of psychic
Yes.
reflexology. It was she kept saying, "Release it to the water," and I kept seeing all this energy like purging out of me and being released into the water.
That's,
Um, Thankfully, that water was then cleaned the next day, so
mhm.
it was the baths were emptied, which was fantastic. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and set up a safe space. Thank you to everyone for coming along today. I'll just say a quick hellos to as many of you as I can not fumble through. Hello to X, hello to Hypnicity, hello to Elif. Thank you for your donation. Thank you. Hello to Kayla, Laura T, Angela, Amy, Saida. Keep scrolling.
River,
Yannex. Hello. Sorry.
River
River.
Merlin is here.
Hello.
And
Emily. Hello. Carl. Say. LP. Um, and I think Cosmic Blue Avian. Hello.
yeah, Aquila, I think you said Aquila already. So yeah, thank you all for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Great. Yeah, let's get started with a safe space and then we can
Mhm.
go into helping these beautiful souls. So if you'd
Yeah.
like to join me, we'll begin by taking in 3 deep breaths in through the nose, nice and deep. Then breathe out what no longer serves our highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. Then breathe out any low vibration energy or emotion, nice and loud. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any fear, shame, anxiety, or pain at this time, nice and loud. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly. And from the divine spark in the center of your heart, from this golden light in your heart, extend a light cord up to the top of your head, reaching up into the sky, up into the stars, going higher and higher through the dimensions of this universe until you reach the highest dimension of the source of love of this universe. And there, connect your light cord into source. Remain connected into source and extend your light cord down to the stars and to the sky, back down to the top of your head and into your heart once more. And now, from the center of your heart, this time, extend your light cord down through the root of your spine, going deep into the ground, all the way down through the layers of this planet, until you reach the very core, Mother Earth. And there, connecting your light cord into the heart, the very core of Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend your light cord up through the layers of the planet, up through the roots of your spine and into your heart once more. Together with the lights of Source above and Mother Gaia below, we expand out our golden light from the center of our hearts to surround us about 2 meters out, above, below, in front and behind, to each side. And we set the intention for this golden bubble we create that only energies and entities with our permission, our highest good love and compassion can see us, access us, or exist within this space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. We invite in our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Source, and Gaia, for our guidance, clearing, healing, protection, self-love, and intuition. And through space and time, I create a golden bubble of protection and a boundary around this live stream and this replay for all those who have our highest good at heart that choose to enter the space. And I set the boundary that only energies and entities with our permission, our highest good love and compassion can see us, access us, or exist within this session space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. And I invite in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. And for Vivienne and I invite in our guides, our higher selves, our ancestors. And to know that for all of those in the live stream, when you make a request and your request is randomly selected by Vivienne, please say hello in the chat to remind us you are here. Please feel free to expand on what your request is. And also, we set the intention as your name is called forwards. We will then invite forwards into this session space yourself, your higher self, your guides to assist with your requests. Please make all your requests in capitals. And if we don't manage to get through yours today, we'll be able to get through in a future session, or you can book me at any time at johnbinney.com, where you can also choose to donate. You can also contact Vivienne also. And so it is.
Thank you.
I always feel like a nice little sleep after that. I could, a voice that I could put myself to sleep with. Okay.
Oh, Sal just came in too. Hi, Sal.
Hello.
Sal, it's nice to see you. And okay, let me get a request first to start. And Heaney came in too. Hi, Heaney.
Hi, Henny.
Hypnicity is asking for a cleansing and clearing if possible. And her seasonal depression is affecting her a lot right now.
Seasonal depression.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So just asking for Hypnosti's guides and higher self to step forwards to Vivienne and I to assist with the clearing and these changes through this season. I'm being shown you, Hypnosti, as you have this like this giant leaf over the top of you. It's quite orange in color, like it's almost like this, it's an autumn color, but you know how the kind of Halloween colors that we see, like these branded colors we see are often quite bright orange. It has that tinge to it as well. And this represents what you're holding on to and not letting go yet. This seems to be like putting you into by bringing in these feelings of depression. And your guide is showing me like the deep rest, within this. And what this friction, this feeling I'm feeling in your heart is that you're somewhat fighting against this. It seems to be that you don't want to repeat another cycle, another seasonal cycle where both you felt frustrated with your progress through the summer into autumn and into fall, but also you have some stress and worry about what lies ahead through the winter. and you're being invited to release. And this leaf, this it's both metaphorical and metaphysical. Like it exists energetically over the top of you, and you're being invited, just like we celebrate Halloween, its origins in when we celebrated in Scotland as Samhain, was a time to release all of the things at the end of our harvest. And this is the harvest of the growth in the summer, the growth of all the trees and plants. Anything that couldn't survive the winter, including excess food or excess energy that we no longer require. It's a preparation and a purging before winter. And so you're being invited to clear this, to release this. And this is all of in particular this year, all of the traumas and challenges you've faced, and to invite this rebirthing, this ending of this cycle and birthing into winter. And as we focus more on winter, you're invited to look within. It's these reflections within. And in those reflections, as hard as some of these messages sound, to know that all of what's happened to you outside of you in your life is happening for you, in part chosen by your soul, not all the detail, but the lessons to be learned and to grow through. And then also the letting go and the releasing and the forgiveness and the reflections within that allow those traumas to be then focused on their growth, the lessons that they're bringing in. And so many of us choose, the message for everyone in this group also is that these traumas we choose in our lives, that our souls choose, they never take away our sovereignty or our free will, but they are events at a high level that our souls choose in this lifetime, knowing that they will bring great growth to us, never to excuse what others do to us, but to know that we grow stronger and build strong foundations. So I'm just going to assist you with this purging just now and remove this big leaf that overlays over you. I'm just bringing down a column of golden light from the highest dimension of source. I'm just pulling it off. It's like attached onto your crown chakra and brain where it seems most active. So just taking this out. And perhaps you'd like to repeat these words with me. Hypnicity. I release what no longer serves my highest good. I release all the old wounds with my forgiveness. I release you with love, never to forget, but always to seek an opportunity to heal. And return these to source or never return here again. And just allow that giant leaf to blow away, to find its own way home, wherever its home is, but never to be back here. I'm just grounding you into core Mother Earth. I hope that helps you. And I was just taking a quick glance, Hypnicity. You were saying, I need patience and trust in the process. I'm very concerned about the coming months for Earth. It's not just the coming months. Please be concerned always about Gaia. And this concern, I think concern is helpful, but perhaps you'd like to focus that more on being able to assist Earth. And how do we assist Mother Gaia? Well, we look after our own garden, right? And that means, imagine this world was covered in, every being had its own garden. There's like quite pretty big gardens for everyone to look after. It's the way that planet Earth scales and harmonizes is by having each of us look after our specific areas. Now, you don't need to have a garden physically. It also means within you, your vibration, like addressing your fear and your concern, letting go what no longer serves you, because this is our purpose. We know we can't compromise the free will of others. And so what are we left with? We're left with healing ourselves inside, and we are part of this collective. We are all part of this journey together on this earth. And so that's how we help the rest of this earth. Every time you fear something about what could happen with the rest of the planet or others are trying to tell you, it's a good time to go within and say, I I face this. I face this reflection within me, and I'm looking for the lesson here. And how do I step through that fear? How do I help heal and integrate that fear?
Mm-hmm. That's great.
How did I love for a minute, Viviana, I thought your hairstyle had changed with that the beautiful
Nice.
light. It's so cool.
The shades, yeah.
Did
Um,
you get anything that came through?
yes, I saw hypnicity inside her home and inside, a room and feeling um unsettled and, yes, depressed and unsettled. And she closed her eyes and she had her one hand on her heart and one hand on her solar plexus area.
Mhm,
And I heard, look for this. I heard like, the sun is within you. There's a sun within you. Look for the sun, the light within you.
mhm,
And I got something about colors to bring bright colors such as yellow in her environment and fresh flowers. I saw yellow flowers. And there was something also about clearing the space. Uh, I heard that would be beneficial for her to clear, unclutter the space and make a little more airy, more yeah. So it would be beneficial to do that. There's something,
fabulous.
yes, and the changing. Oh, your mom loved yellow roses. Yeah, I saw
Oh,
yellow roses specifically. I was there. There were roses, but it was something about the color yellow. Um, to bring that, vibrant colors with to your environment, and that will brighten up the place and cheer you up too. During this time. So I hope that helps, Ethnicity. Thank you so much for your question.
fabulous. Thank you. And
Mm,
some of the chat is talking about the Field of Dreams movie. Heeny's talking about it, and Angela and others. And
mm,
that famous quote, right? Depending on which Mandela effect you remember, the if you build it, they will come. And it's so funny because I just said that, and Amy was typing it in. Um, and for me, it's so powerful on so many levels. Like whenever I'm sat in the wellness center and I've got a few hours and there's no bookings, I just know I have to be there. I know that when I create that space for people to come, they will come. And
mm-hmm,
it's the same with hypnosis and so many of us in the seasonal changes that when you create this beautiful space within you, they are not just people that come into your space. Beautiful things come into your life when you create this beautiful, welcoming space.
yeah.
And I think that's a lovely way of thinking about your inside of you, and then also your home as an outside reflection of you. Is that if you take great pride in both inside and outside of you, you attract in these beautiful things into your life, and it just kind of feels really great too.
Yes, and there's a trick. I just remember too that there is one song that I used to listen to a lot growing up, and it was always like during beautiful weather, beautiful summer. And to this day, when I listen to that same song, I can like feel the sun on my skin, and it brings back that feelings, that joy
Yeah,
and that memory of being out in the sun. So yeah, I think for hypnicity, color will help, and aromatherapy will help, like definitely make her surroundings more, make her feel like sunshine and bring that warmth into her space.
fabulous.
And hi, Karen. I have I'd like to have X requested a clearing.
Okay, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
X. Just asking hypnosis to step back and sending so much love to you and your guides. For X to step forwards, your higher self and guides. Yeah, picking up something on something quite nasty here. What is this? There's this entity like darting around behind you. It seems to be trying to avoid me. I've just started by creating a containing space quite broad around you. It's about 10 meters around your X. This entity is like, if if you're a fan of like Marvel and DC, like it reminds me of like the Flash, like it moves super, super fast. And this entity is darting around. In part, it doesn't want to be discovered, but it's in part like what it's doing is attacking you. And your guide is step back, but your guide isn't scared of this entity. Um, and your guide is saying it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. Like that's what this being does. And its general approach is it tries um to take like these little cuts at you, and then in all kinds of different aspects of your life, and then in your feelings and your emotions. And its general idea is like it's just gradually trying to bring down your vibration so that it can eventually, like, the more it brings it down, the more it can feed on you. It also just takes great delight in this. And okay, so I'm keeping this entity at a distance, and I'm not going to release this container, but what I am going to do is just bring you X out of this container. And you can remain in your safe space. That's the entity now removed from your space. And I'm collapsing the container down to much smaller. Archangel Michael, please return this being to source or never return this again. Archangel Michael was saying, he was just saying, I thought I'd found the last of you. Seems to be referring to not like a breed or a race, but more like instances of that being. Okay. I'm taking a look back at you, X. Let me just see if I can bring in some healing for those woundings that this entity's been doing to you. Okay. How did you get on, Viviani?
When I first tuned into X, I heard a heavy heart, and I looked at the heart and I saw the heart had a bunch of, like you mentioned, paper cuts. Yeah, there was like
Mm.
completely covered in paper cuts. Um, when you removed her from this container that uh, from removed her away, moved her away from this entity, I saw a hand putting like a healing ointment all over her heart, and then placing like a gauze over it, and to heal those paper cuts that was completely, the heart was completely covered in it. So yeah, yeah, that's what I got for X.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
having.
I saw when I was doing the healing, there's like this, like the golden light was almost like quite like a liquid, like you said, like an ointment, and it just seemed to flow all the way down through X.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, that I feel like part of the um that experience X is being aware of, like, bringing awareness to like a kind of multifaceted or attack, and knowing that yes, ultimately these were all kind of ending up at your heart, like no matter what was happening.
Hmm.
But to bring your awareness to, and first of all, this message of you only really get attacked when you're either super powerful now or will grow into that in this life. And then secondly, that when things start to kind of go wrong across lots of different areas of your life, and it
Hmm.
just doesn't feel right. Like it's almost like it's like everything on your in your life is getting a little bit like a tap from a hammer, like it's getting knocked down a bit, and you're like, why is that like that? Like, why is that happening? Why is that relationship with that person, or why is that happening? And just to bring your awareness. And so, thank you for asking for a healing. I hope clearing. Sorry, I hope this helps.
Yeah, I hope this helps. Sending love, X.
Sending so much love.
Now I have Elif. Hi, John. It's almost my exam week in college, but I feel so tired and scared because I stopped college for 2 years and I continue now. Okay, can you do a clearing for the fears and the fatigue?
Okay. So just asking X, and thank you, X. Asking you to step back and your guides, and asking L to step forwards, your higher self, guides, and to assist with some of those fears and fatigue through anything in your life right now, but also related to your college exams. I just feeling it like towards the left side of my heart, which is really interesting. It's like this receiving side. So I'm just going to pull this energy out of me. I don't want it in me just now. Okay, so just holding space for this experience. Um, this is the left side of the heart. It's like this receiving. So one message for you, Aleph, is that remember the version of you before you started college knew nothing, and you could never get to pass an exam when you didn't know anything. And that is not the same version of you that now exists. The version of you that now exists is far more educated on the subjects that you will be covering in your exams. And this is a really beautiful way of thinking about ourselves, is that whenever you create a challenge, such as that you wish to pass an exam or multiple exams, that once you set that goal in your mind, the next step for you is to create the version of you that can then achieve and exceed that goal. And a big part of that creation of yourself is being able to receive all that you need to become that version of yourself. So it's not all push, push, push. You know, we don't, when we're studying, for example, we don't just start writing down all the things we know. We start reading and receiving and studying and bringing that energy into us. And so you're being encouraged to open up your heart to allow this energy, this wisdom, and this includes all the good stuff that are in your college books or any online material using or videos, and to allow your heart to open up. And I could feel like it was like this fear feeling constraining that receiving, so like holding you back and making it feel like you had less ability to study and receive, and therefore you'd have less ability to in the exams to pass. So I'm just going to scan down and see if I can help remove that, as well as these powerful messages. Just focus on the left side of your hearts. It's like this, it's almost like a binder, like this binding, like spring that's around your heart. It runs almost horizontally, and just taking this out. Return to the source, or never turn here again. And grounding this into earth. Okay. So this fatigue as well, it's very similar. Um it's the play hard, work hard, rest hard. It's the third thing that I'll try and do that without swearing with my fingers. It's the third thing that is the one that we all need to practice the most. My example today is I was telling Viviani, like I worked the weekend and it was just, that was all divine timing, but I need to look after myself. And so I juggled things around today and I made sure that I could sleep for an hour during lunch, and it just made the world a difference. So even though like your time is getting closer to the exams, listen to your body, ask your body, like look at your calendar. And this is one really cool approach, which is don't ask your body before you do something. Don't say, would it be okay if I, organize my calendar and then had an hour's rest? Do it the other way around. Have an hour's rest, then look at your calendar, because you'll feel so much better. And you go, right, now what's really important for me to focus on? What's coming next to my exams? what do I really need to focus the time and energy on? So I hope that helps. How about you, Viviani?
I saw Aleph holding a pen and kept hearing notes, 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 writing notes. I felt the tightness heavy in the heart area too in the beginning, and then uh, heck, I was about okay, check all these notes, take notes, but you have to pace yourself too. And then I saw you outside and looking up in the sky, and it was like a moment that you needed to recharge and have this space in between to um, rest, yeah, and recharge, so that you can have time to process and just not just you help with this anxiety that you're not going to what we say here, cram, like, and just you need to pace and alternate the time between studying and taking notes and then resting. That this way you absorb the information and um, be able to recall everything that you're studying. There's one more thing too. Yeah, you have to have this cycle. Yeah, study, rest. You have to have this discipline around you.
Yeah,
Everything that you're doing, and that will be. And it's not about not knowing. It's about having uh, this pace. This be aware of how much you can absorb in 1 hour without rest um, and changing the surroundings, the environment, and then getting back to it. And if you need to, um, and notes, yeah, very important to take notes, because writing it down instead of just reading, will help you retain everything that you're learning better, help you recall. So that's what I have for Aleph.
fabulous. Thank you.
Hmm.
And Elif was saying, um, well, said thank you so much, but also, yes, you're right. I feel guilty when I rest, and I'll try to do better. And this, to be honest, this took me probably 47 years of my life to learn, is that it is not the best way of countering that feeling of guilt is to know for a fact. So if I hadn't have rested at lunch for an hour,
Yes,
Viviani would know this better than anyone else. Can you imagine what I would be like now? How many people could I help if I hadn't rested?
yes.
And is it because I'm somehow selfish and need to rest? No, it's actually my
Hmm.
health is my
Yes.
capability to be able. It's my total capacity to help others is dictated by my health. And so the more I focus on increasing my health and calmness and clear energy and focus, that it allows me to help more people. Otherwise, we'd literally be having a 30-minute meditation, or I would have canceled. They'd be like, I just can't do it. And it's the same with your exams. It's better to, that it's better to rest a lot and to pass one exam than to be
Mhm.
exhausted and fail them all. And you know that you'll benefit with that, as Viviane is saying, like that clarity and focus in those cycles, like planning those cycles in, are so important.
Yeah, I have a sis my sister tends to feel guilty about sleeping a little longer if it's on weekend or taking naps, and she really pushes in herself hard and works hard. And I tell her there's no need to feel guilty, because you're not being lazy. You have to
Yeah,
listen to your body, and if your body is telling you I need to rest, I need a nap, I need a power nap, yeah, do it. And so yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
And I
Oh.
don't know, how many times I've heard this, right? But
Mhm.
most predictions of the future and the new ways that we will change in this world is that at most we will work in the thing we love, even in our dream lives, about 3 days a week. And does it make us lazy? No, it means that during those 3 days we're on fire, we're loving it the most, and we don't need
Yes.
to stress ourselves out and do more. Like, our culture is so wrong. It's not even 5 days that need to work, and it's not even 9 to 5 that need to work. And really, we'll all find ourselves, if we choose to, working and it doesn't feel like work, right? Like, I don't really feel like this is work. I love doing this.
Yes. Yes. It's wonderful. Yeah. And hi, Wolf Dude came in, and thank you so
Hello.
much for gifting memberships. That's so
That's so
kind of you.
kind.
Congratulations to all those recipients.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you. And
let
yeah,
me.
to my members, please do check out the community page because you'll see there's at least one discount in there for you. And there's some new videos I've been releasing to just you guys as well first. So please do take a look.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what's here. Okay, Carl asked for a message from his new guides for the coming days towards next week in November. So a message from Carl from his guides.
Okay. Thank you. So just asking Ella to step back and for Carl and your higher self and guides to step forwards. I would like to offer messages from your guides to assist for the next week in November. It's not obvious to you, Carl, what is coming in November. And this is the month of November, not just the week. There, there are new rebirthing energies coming in for you. I'm just being shown this like event that happens next week. Um, how to describe it? Yeah, it's like a imagine a milestone, but without a fixed date. And I think that's also important to understand about next week is that it's not a fixed date that's important. Um, even if there's a delay or a change in plans, to know that this is part of your journey, it's part of your timelines, the decisions that rest along it. Um, do influence the creation of future timelines for you. I'm just being shown your heart, and there's some excitement and some anxiety. And your guide is like, oh, thank you, Carl. Oh my God, I really needed to hear that. Um, what I'm seeing is this beautiful practice. So your guide is showing me like, imagine, when you feel anxiety, right? So hold that feeling for a moment, and I see it like for you, Carl, in your heart and your solar plexus, and then you like bring in your mental capacity, right? So bring in your brain and say, okay, I'd like to imagine this emotion of anxiety, but I'm going to remove fear and like pull the fear out of it, like strip it out of that emotion. Now you're not denying it. So you just bring it out to the side, perhaps hold it in a little bubble just outside of you. You could even hold it in your left hand if you wish to, because you never want to deny fear. You just want to allow it um, to be seen and to move it out the way for a moment, and then see what that feeling's left, in particular in your heart, because it feels like there's quite a lot of excitement. And then ask yourself, so you could do this also, you don't need to do it energetically, you could do it through like a series of questions. And the first question would be, so what would it feel like with this event if I had no fear? What would I do differently if I had no fear next week? And I mean, to be honest, it's kind of the only question you need, but there is, because the answers will cause significant reflection and will likely influence your actions. But you can follow up with a second question. Let me just ask your guide. I had a glimpse at what is this second question, Carl will ask. And if I trust myself and stand in my power with clear boundaries, what action will I take next week? So it's more about the empowerment and embodiment. Okay. And then thirdly, you can also ask yourself, how will I step through this fear? So I'm still holding your fear in this left hand, and it's like tingling and burning in my hand. So I'm going to give this back to you, but you can just hold it in your left hand, Carl. Okay. And yeah, you get to choose what you want to do with this fear. So it's about being able to step through that fear. And I'm just asking your guide, is there any technique that Carl can use for this? Any steps that they can take to step through this fear? I see you like you're rehearsing this. So once you've got like um, a clear aspect of the answers to each of those three questions, then you can begin like this. You've already given yourself an answer about that question about how do you step through the fear, and as you come up with some of those answers, and they feel like you'll be able to rehearse it. So I'm still I'm so fascinated because um often I'm not told anything about an event like this because it's not important. It's like the 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 approach, and it doesn't just need to apply to this one event in your life or any of your any of the events in any of our lives. But what you can do with that fear is just rehearse. So with those three questions answered, and you could write down what it is you're going to say or do. You can practice saying it out loud. I see you like chatting with a mirror and doing it. And it's a really beautiful preparation because it helps a lot with the fear. Like that, what you're doing is you're stepping a bit like me stepping into an ice bath. Like you're stepping forwards into it, like those first steps. Um, and Carl said, "You hit the nail, John. Been carrying that guilt for months now." Exactly, John. You read my mind. Oh, fabulous. How about you, Viviane? How did you get on?
I felt the anxiety. I really felt this turmoil, the anxiety, and I saw Carl standing outside. And he was standing still, but there was this, it's like a storm around him, and everything was moving. And I heard that he needs to let go of expectations, and it's about not letting others make decisions for him.
Mhm.
There's a couple other things. Yeah, don't rely on others to make decisions. He's like waiting on uh, other people to make decisions that are affecting his life. And he needs to take his power back. So he needs to set boundaries and let go of expectations and try not to worry too much about um, he needs to be present because he's always thinking about what's going to happen next, what's going to happen next. And not knowing is difficult sometimes and
Mhm.
can make you anxious, but you also have to remember that when you take your power back and be present, and that your guides and the universe will uh, assist you. But
Yeah.
when you're in that state of anxiety, constant anxiety, and you have all those expectations, and you're waiting for others, what answers, you're going to just keep on this stormy cycle. Um, and you just need to take his power back. Yeah, focus on what's happening now, as Michelle said. I'm sorry about the noise. It's a neighbor that loves this leaf blower.
Yay.
And
It's
when there
all
are no
good.
leaves, he's doing that to his garage door, his
Yeah.
mailbox, the crevices on sidewalk, or his car. Is really,
And
really,
and and what's really annoying for you is that we can barely hear any of it because Zoom is like filtering it all out magically. But you don't know that, right? You can hear it so loud. We
yeah,
only heard
okay.
like a
I'm
boom,
glad you
and then that
can
was
hear
it.
that if filtering because it is, yeah, it's like, yeah, and I have two neighbors across the street and they live next door and they are both like that with the leaf blower.
I love
Amazing.
and I love the concept of a leaf blower. It's just so funny.
It's noisy and just like,
um,
anyway, so thank you, Carl, for your question. Yeah, remember, let go of expectations because you're going to drive yourself crazy of anxiety, always waiting for others to make decisions, make things happen for you, and you have to find new ways um, to and set boundaries and find new ways to bring what you want to manifest, what you want to
Yeah.
manifest without relying on other people. And
Yeah.
this, I have Angela. Angela would like a healing and clearing.
Cool. Thank you. So just asking Carl and his guides and higher self to step back and asking Angela to step forwards. Um, I'm just going to mute you for a second, Viviani.
Oh
Feel
God,
free.
sorry about that.
That's okay. Feel free to come off mute when you're talking. It's not as bad as you might think. So I just muted you for now. Okay, so I would like to assist Angela, the guides and higher self, just to assist with a healing and clearing at this time. And just being shown directly at the center of your heart. And this feeling of like this energy that seems to be going down. It feels a little bit like acid reflux, but it's not like I would. It is to do with this like acidic feeling. It's not going. It's not like acid reflux coming up. It's more like it's going down. It seems to go from the heart. It's like draining down into the stomach. So just to take our minds away perhaps from the condition of acid reflux and more towards this like acidic feeling that drains down through your lower chakras. It's like this very sinking feeling through your heart. And it does come through out through your root chakra. It's like dripping down. It's like this leaking energy onto the ground. Just take a look at your heart. What is this? Just asking your guide. So it's for all the burdens, excuse me, for all the burdens that you've carried that are too heavy for you. Many of us carry these dark patches, these heavy memories or experiences of traumas in our hearts, and they often collect a bit like suitcases at the bottom of our hearts, and they lie at the bottom of our heart chakra. And sometimes we feel that we have to carry it. But for you, like some of these are like leaking this energy out. And it seems in part like you do want to release it, but you're not really sure how to. And some of it's involuntary, like it's draining away energy, but it's like also causing disruption through your lower chakras as it goes. So I'm to first clear everything from your heart that no longer serves your highest good. And this doesn't mean that you need to release all of the emotions around trauma or any negative feelings in your heart. It's just what feels right for you at this time. So just encouraging this now, capturing it in a golden bubble. Iraro unuro sumoro chinia. You only need to carry the burdens that you choose. Antaramoro sumoro. And do not carry burdens that others tell you to carry. Only listen to your own heart and your own guidance. Return to source or never return here again. And then just kind of close this wound in your heart, just right at the bottom. To stop this draining of negative energy, just feeling that in my heart right now. And then bringing this healing energy down as I bring down this calm golden light from the highest dimension of source to heal, to clear, to energize and working through your crown, through your third eye, through your throat and heart, to your solar plexus, clearing, healing, energizing through your sacral chakra and through your root chakra, and then connecting deep into the ground. Good. Feels like there's work to do. It's funny. Karen was saying about dragons. Um, I was just, I just let me just ask because I was being told that to like, could I help ignite the fire again in your heart? Okay, yeah, your guide and higher self feel this would be good. Oh, breathe. I'm reaching down all the way into the fire that exists beneath the surface of the planet, or in Gaia's fire, and bringing this energy up like a volcano coming up through where those wounds were and are now healing all the way up through your lower chakras into your heart and igniting your heart's fire. Remember who you are, dear soul. Good. I hope that helps. And feel free to come off mute, Viviani. Thank you. Oh, you're still muted.
Sorry about the noise, everyone. For Angela, I saw her heart like pulsing, and I felt like frantic, felt stressed, and I felt that uneasiness from here down here, uneasiness and tightness in this area of my body. As you um, continue with the healing, I saw white light from the top of her head all the way to the bottom, this white light filling her body and then being moved to earth to, clear her. It was
Oh,
her,
that's beautiful.
her energetic field. And then the heart calmed down. It
Mm-hmm.
was, then I saw the heart pulsing, but it was not as tired and not as stressed. So it was releasing that heaviness.
Fabulous. Yeah, Angela says, thank you so much. I feel so much better emotionally.
Good, great, yeah.
So
And
it's a really beautiful message to remember for all of us that that's also why I wear like the story of why I wear fire on my heart is
mm,
because of next my guest Manda on Thursday is when I
mm,
first received an energy healing. She said to find the fire, the fierceness again of my love in my heart, and I always see it as this fire. And it what I love about that burning kind of rageful fire of love is very positive, empowering energy. And
mm,
sometimes when we forget that energy within us, it feels like we don't have energy for all these insurmountable challenges and emotions in our lives. And my guide, who I often channel for this work, my dragon guide, Muya, that's what her name means. Muya means remember who you are. And it's that
mhm.
remembrance of that fire to ignite it. And so whenever you feel like you can't do it and you can't feel through it and you can't face that fear, is to remember that power within you because there's a version of you that can face this and you can help ignite that.
Yeah, I love that. It makes me think, yeah, that the fire, the passion, that life.
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Oh, Angela says I was literally teaching my son about fire safety right before this. Oh, that's so cool.
And now I have the song playing in my head, light my fire, light my fire.
Yay. I love that song.
Yeah, it's a great song. I'm gonna have to listen to it after the live. All right, I saw a question from. Okay, let's get to. Some. Lacey Gray. Lacey Gray is asking, hi, Lacey Gray. Can you please check if there are any entities attached to me? I've been seeing something with my mind's eye. I don't know if it's my imagination.
Okay.
It's this kind of vision is a first.
Okay. So thank you to Angela. Just asking Angela, your guides, higher self to step back and for Lisa great step forwards. Your higher self and guides to assist with both understanding what you're seeing and experiencing and removing anything that doesn't serve your highest good. I what I see is like a swarm of quite small entities. If imagine if leeches could fly and they were small and dark, and I see them swarming, and one like what are being shown like across the front of your third eye is like this small leech. It's been spinning around a lot, but it also like it's trying to stop and sit over your third eye. These are, whilst there are many, they're not particularly well coordinated. Um, they just seem to come together when it's like, you know, any beings swarm together, come together when they feel like working together will bring mutual benefit. Not to you, but to them. And this is making you feel really uneasy. And it's, you know, like when your body feels like there's something foreign inside of you, like you're it brings like this fear and anxiety within you that's difficult to place. Your um your third, like I can feel it on your heart. It's somewhere between, this is between your heart and your third eye. There's a lot of conversation going on about like, what is this? What am I experiencing? What did I see? And this is what you've seen is this entity. This entity is trying to like just imagine like wearing a dirty like sunglasses or glasses over one eye. It would kind of, you'd be looking through this lens of like of trying to look at a beautiful sunny day, but seeing, you know, dark and patches of cloud and stuff, and you'd be like, hang on, this doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't really connect. And your third eye is being called to activate. You're like, what's going on here? And so your third eye is like, I think I need to take a look. And there's just a bit of fear about looking, because you can see, you can open your third eye whenever you wish. Your third eye is not blocked. So I'm gonna first of all remove this one entity, then I'll remove this swarm from your the swarming around you, and then I'll look at your third eye healing. So just removing this entity. Ina niamaka. Okay, and now the whole swarm. Daram oro. And just, it's like I'm vacuuming them all into this golden bubble, making sure I've got every last one. Checking around your head in particular. Okay. Return to source or never return here again. Okay. Archangel Michael was laughing. He was saying, John, without these swarms and without these little leeches, like we'd be out of a job. And it's like, whilst we know that's not true, he's just laughing that it's so common. Okay, and let's take a look at your third eye and your crown chakra and your throat chakra. Down to the heart. Into our, okay. So what your third eye is asking, with that insert swear words, like what is going on? And so allow your throat chakra like to speak it out loud. Say, this is, something's wrong here. Like I'm seeing something. What was that? And allow your heart to answer. What your heart will do is allow you to discern what dimension and frequency things exist in. And this is like a partnership with your third eye and heart, expressed through the truth of your throat chakra, that allow you to build up more discernment. And what's really beautiful is that often a lot of the fear we have is the worry about, if I could see all the ghosts in the world all at once, would I become like lost in these different dimensions? Would I struggle to know who's like in the third dimension is, you know, physically real to me, and others they're in fourth, fifth, etc. And so this is a really beautiful way of saying, I can focus on the right thing I need to focus on right now, and what dimension does it exist within, and therefore how should I deal with it? And it's your heart that will help you with that discernment. So I hope that helps. How about you, Viviani?
I saw the same thing in this area, and the entity that was like right here, it was, to me, it felt like it was comfortable. There was like, okay, I can stay here. I'm comfortable, like doing my thing. And then I saw all these other like dots around the body moving around, but not, not really in an organized manner. Then I saw you. when you talked about the vacuum force, I saw them all being sucked out of the body.
Mhm.
But the one that was like here was kind of funny because it was startled, like was not expecting. He was like, I saw this face like, ah, and I got startled and then removed. But other than that, it was, it was kind of having, it was installed. It was just like comfortable. And
Mhm.
then I saw like eye drops being dropped onto the
Uh,
top for soothing the area. That's the first time I saw that.
that's beautiful. I hope that helps, Lacey. Um, and someone had said that LP was saying getting lost in dimensions if you open up spiritually, um, that's a bit of anxiety. Yeah, I feel like that's something for many of us. It's something I felt as a strongly as a past many past lives as a seer, and that's been my superpower for a long, long time. That this life has been much more gradual in opening my third eye, despite how I behave. My third eye is just gradually opening still, and it's because we perceive with more than just our third eye, and our third eyes receive. Seeing is a doing word, but it's really receiving, which is not doing. It's like the opposite. It's like allowing to energy to come into you. And yeah, I feel that heart practice is a really helpful um practice. Like, ask your heart, like, what is this I see? Where is this? Does it have my highest good at heart? Should I just tell it to leave immediately? These things are really helpful. And then grounding a lot, especially the more you see and the more work you do, like Viviani and I, the more pressure it puts on you to have a consistent and solid grounding practice, both with things like daily meditation and then also physically. I've got no socks on right now, and it's cool because as soon as I finish today, I just go out and stand on my grass, and I do that between every session. And then I go and find something that's very human to do, like eat dinner or walk the dog, or just be the human John. Like, all these things are really helpful in not being lost in different dimensions.
Mm-hmm. Um, okay, I want to see if River Merlin is here. River, let us know if you're here, please. He's asking for a message from guides and giving permission for healing and clearing.
Okay. And you said River Merlin. River Merlin's there.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So just asking Lisa Gray and your guides and everyone else step back, and asking River Merlin step forwards to Vivian and I, as well as your guide, higher self, to assist with any messages and clearing or healing that will help you at this time. I don't I don't know if you saw what I've done with my arms. They're right behind my back at the moment, and it it reminds me of who is now King Charles of Great Britain. He'd always walk around like that, like with his arms behind his back, like yes, like observing everything. I see, yes, and almost like walking up to um people at like a stand and maybe in a marketplace, or like or it might be like an exhibition, and he'll walk up to them and say, I could do the impression like yes. He always, like, he has ears. He always goes yes for yes, and he's saying like this attitude for your River Merlin is like, you're these. What I'm seeing is you like creating like these little visualizations of these stands in front of you, and they're all like these. Some are emotions, and then some are like events in your life, and they're like roughly organized or clustered together in these different aspects of you. And this practice you're doing with your hands behind your back, and try it physically. It's really interesting experience, but you're observing, and you're taking this step back, and you're walking and observing all these things in your life, and you can choose what you want to put into it. Perhaps you'd like to write down, like, a word or two. So this might be like friends and family is like the stand on the left, and then there's um, career and work, and then there's another stand in front of you that is how you feel with your spiritual growth, and then there's another one about your love life. You don't need many, maybe like four or five, And then the first thing you do is like put your hands behind your back, and you can stand up and like pace around between them. And you're allowing each of them to just give almost like a status report, a bit of a sales pitch, and saying like, this is how things feel right now. And it's not all good, right? There's, like in all of us, there's a whole range of frequencies of emotions. But that observation practice is hugely powerful for you, because when you step back, and maybe you'd like to imagine that you are your higher self in that moment, so that you're stepping back from your day-to-day stresses and putting less emphasis on the heavier human and more emphasis on the lighter aspects of yourself. And as you do this, you're doing this practice, this observation practice. Like, first of all, get like a status report from each of these main areas of your life. And then ask each one, like, well, what are you going to do about it? So for all the problems that are presented. So for example, with friends and family, where you see these problems, like ask the problems themselves. It's a really funny technique, right? Ask the problems themselves. What are you going to do about it? Like, how are you going to resolve this? And it seems like in some cases, there's no answer. Like, well, we are the problem. The problem's not going to fix itself. Sometimes it does, especially when there's multiple people involved. It's like letting go and observing that everyone has their own free will. Everyone like chooses their traumas and their soul journeys, their paths in this lifetime, and allowing people to play out their like their karma and their purpose in their lives. And yes, sometimes this creates a lot of negative experiences for them and between others, and knowing that we can't always fix or address these. But what you can do, just like this observation technique, is that you're stepping back from it and seeing it for what it is, because it's hugely powerful. And often as humans, we just want to go and fix everything. But you're not going to fix everything. You're just going to be able to step back and say, actually, it's okay. I'm first of all observing. And then as each of these aspects of your life presents itself to you, allow yourself to like reflect, because when you're doing this, like you're opening up your heart as well, with your arms crossed behind your lower back. And you can say to yourself, look, I'm really interested in how I feel about each of these. And what is the boundaries that I set, for example, friends and family and all the chaos that exists between them. What boundary do you put in place around you that says, I do or do not allow some of these behaviors in? And that could be respect. You might say, a boundary for me is mutual respect. For those that show me respect, I show them respect also. For those that do not show me respect, I do not allow them in my lives. Okay. And this is a journey. You can ask loads of questions. If your guide's showing you, if you really do, like if this practice resonates with you, it's something that you can continue to ask more questions of, like, well, what is the greatest fear emanating from this particular aspect of my life? What action should I take? Just like we were discussing with Carl. Okay. And for the healing or clearing, let me just scan through. Yeah, your heart seems to be describe it as like quite shredded. Like your heart is like slightly being scratched at by a lot of people and also other beings that want to like have a slice of you. You just bring in healing energy from the highest dimension of source into your heart and to help heal. Reminding your heart that your heart can be whole. It's totally within your gift. It's your heart to be whole once more. Okay. And then removing any of these little cords and they're almost like little daggers in your heart that you've allowed in. Just removing these. Return to source. Or never return here again. And then most importantly, the boundary around your heart. So I'm just going to set a temporary boundary. So this, I can't protect you. You have to do it yourself. But temporarily, as you've given me permission, you delegated this permission to me. I'm just creating this golden bubble of protective light around your heart, setting the intention that you can remove this at any time, and that if you do nothing, it will eventually fade over time anyway. And to know that you can always protect your heart. And I encourage you to write down your boundaries. Like it's hard, right? say the people, for example, you would never want to have a loving partnership with someone if they didn't respect you. Now I know that there's ups and downs in respect, and we each have our own tolerances. But if someone simply had no respect for you, you would draw a boundary and say, "Well, this is not a relationship for me. This is destructive for me," and you would eventually come to an end of that relationship. So I hope this helps. How did you get on, Viviani?
I first saw River Merlin's silhouette, and there was like swirls of energy around him, and then I kept hearing that you have the power to manifest. So you have all this energy around you. So stand in your power, and you use that to create what you wish to manifest. Then I started doing the scanning for the clearing and healing, and there was golden light above them, and then vertical, I'm sorry, a horizontal line that kept going up, from the top of the head all the way to the bottom, scanning the body, and then it was a straight line. When it got to the heart area, it was unsettled. It was
Mm-hmm.
trembling. So then I sent healing energy to the heart area, green light to the heart area. That was the only area that was unsettled when this scanning line went over the body. And yeah, that's what I got for Merlin. And I saw a comment here it was interesting. I saw a comment from Elaine Campbell that when I was talking about eye drops at that same moment,
Yeah, that's
she
right.
was applying eye drops to her guinea pig. I thought it was funny. And I want to say hi to Flourishing Spirits and to Sylvia that came in,
Hello, everyone.
and Lindsay.
And let us know, River Merlin, how that went. Hope that helps you. And yeah, definitely a message of empowerment and to 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 protect your heart. Oh, River Merlin says, "Thank you so much. I've been told by my guides before that I'm an observer on this planet and that I'm a manifester still learning." Oh, and Viviani, do you know when you said I felt a swirling energy around you and your cat like turns up and it's like, "You are a manifest," and the cat's like heads like round the side. It was just so cool. It's like they know, right? They know fine well.
Whoa. Let's see what I have next here. That was River. I have PS is asking for angels from PS is a new subscriber. I wanted to ask if my guardian angels have any messages.
Thank you. I don't think I've seen PS before. Hello and welcome.
New
And it's
subscriber.
just letters PS, is it?
Yes.
Fantastic. So just asking River Merlin and everyone else step back and asking PS to step forwards, your guides and higher self. And we'd like to request a message from your guardian angels. It's quite funny because your spirit guides are like looking at each other and they're like, "Hang on, are any of us guardian angels?" And they're like, "I think we are." And they're like, I don't know. Should we consult with higher vibrational angels?" It's quite funny. Let me just see who your highest vibrational guide is. It seems important. Okay. So they are that I would call them an angel. They're just describing themselves as angelic, but I guess everything's relative, right? When you're down here on Earth. Okay. And what messages do you have for PS at this time? Find your truth, find your path, and within these two aspects of this life, you will find your power. And by your power, this means your self empowerment, your joy, the embodiment of your truth. And just okay, so I'm hearing like why this message is important, just getting some more context. So because it seems really simple, right? But I'm seeing like others trying to influence you. Um, one thing I wasn't really prepared for when I left my corporate job and started doing psychic work full time was people would ask me, for example, or they would tell me, "Oh, John, there's no money in that. I don't know how you're going to survive." Or they'd ask me, "How are you going to earn money doing that?" And it's the funniest thing, right? You wouldn't say to, I don't know, a bus driver or or president or whatever, like whatever job it is that's more traditional, you wouldn't say you earn money doing that. It's like how you live.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and
it's a hobby. It's just a hobby.
that's right. Yeah, you enjoy it. Oh well, you're not going to earn any money doing that. Um, and I just think it's a really interesting message because what I was seeing in particular for like your truth is that like there's these little kind of annoying doubts like coming into it. Like people are and they seem to like come into your crown chakra and you're like seriously considering them when they come in. And so this message is to like find your truth. And like my knowing is that each of us, there are over 8 billion truths, especially if you include all the living plants and animals and everything that lives in this planet. There are
Mhm,
literally billions of truths in this planet. And I don't get to, travel to the Amazon and then find like the jungle and find like a monkey there and say, "Hey, little monkey, this is your truth." Like no one gets to decide what
mhm,
other people's truths are. And yes, there is a collective truth that, if you kind of average all of the perceptions and truth across all of us in our collective consciousness, that creates this collective truth. But when we're individual and someone challenges us and says, "That's not true, John, you can't be a professional psychic," it's not up to them. It's up to me to decide, just like you, PS. You have to decide yourself what is true for you. Is it true that these things are possible? And so really encouraging you to open up, to look through exploration. I feel like you know some of this already yourself, but you're allowing people to put you off, and doubt is the biggest killer of any dream, far more than anything else in our lives. So I hope that helps. How about you, Viviani?
I'm sorry, you got a little lost here. I saw the guides, just like you said in the beginning about them. Okay, are we angels? Because they're looking at each other, but they're like, but I don't have any wings. Wings. And then um, yeah, it's and they were just laughing and kind of like pointing, like, are you an angel? Are you an angel? Like just say, but just give me another moment here.
And PS was just saying thank you very much. That really helps me.
And then I,
Okay.
I I see them like, okay, yes, ta-da, I'm your angel, but you can talk to us. You can talk to us. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm getting because you asked for a message, yes, and you can talk to us.
Yeah,
You
they
can.
seem like a really friendly team you've got, and with a great sense of humor, and
Hmm.
very humble. I love that.
Yeah, I love them. They're funny. Um, so I hope to help. I was just a little bit of information, but they they are funny. Okay, and now I have. Oh, hi, Jenny. Hi, Starfish Jenny. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Hello.
Nice to see you. I saw a question here from Lotus Bloom. Can I get an entity clearing from my house? I feel a certain density because I was away.
Of course. Um, so for Lotus Bloom, just we're doing this. just to, you've given permission for us to look at your house. I just want you to, um, as we're talking and working through this, just to draw a clear boundary around the outside of the land that you own or lease or that you have permission to call your home, and just like draw that firm line and say this is my home and this is where I give John and Viviani a permission, um and we can continue. So just asking everyone else to step back to give us space, and then asking Lotus Bloom and your guides and higher self step forwards. Oh wow. In my throat there's this really horrible nauseous feeling, like I please take this out of me, this is horrible. It was very, very powerful, very tangible, very physical. Yeah, this was an attack on me as I stepped into your space. Now I'm using this to see, I'm holding this in a golden sphere, this energy, and I'm using it to trace where this comes from. There's this entity beneath your home, okay? It like grows like a plant. Uh, Growing, I don't know, it just seems really horrible. Reminds me of that movie slash musical. The was it the Little House of or Little Shop of Horrors? Is that what it's called? With the
Mhm.
funny but very aggressive and hungry Venus flytrap. Um, so I'm just pushing this back out of your home. There's some funny creaking noises in my silent studio around me as I did that. Okay, so just pushing this down below the ground. And I'm just tracing down to see how big this entity is and where it's coming from. It's like it grown up. It's like, yeah, it's huge. It reminds me a little bit of an octopus upside down, like his body. It's very deep, and there's like these vines, these branches that grow up through into your home. And I'm just trying to figure out how far does your boundary go that we can, because it seems like it's acting below this. We just ask a second opinion from Archangel Michael. The Archangel Michael saying, look, if it's breaching your free will, which it has, then he's definitely interested in helping. And it and frankly speaking, he doesn't trust it. Like if we just protected you from it, it's not enough. So just removing this entity now. It's giant, like it goes down about 2 miles down. It's been growing for a very long time. Return to source or never return here again. Tarai moro unorata. Okay. And let's look now down below the home. So just one of its uh, branches, if you like, its tendrils, its arms have been able to pierce up into your home while you're away. And then just sealing your home. It seems to like it's like a hole in the boundary beneath the foundations of your home. It's like a portal. So just closing this. And then I'm going to bring in source energy from the highest dimension of source above, bring down and create this golden bubble protective light around your home. Okay, good. And then bringing that down through the center of your home, often through the highest point. Our homes, when you and I give them consciousness through the amount of love that we give our homes, and we call it a home, not a house or apartment or building, like it's your home, you create this consciousness of it. And it's often helpful to feel that they have their own chakras, they have their own hearts. So just helping healing this aspect of your home and then filling that void below with source love energy where this entity existed and down into the core of Mother Earth. Good. Okay. I hope that helps. Well done for raising it, Lotus Bloom.
Mhm.
How about you, Viviane?
I saw something a little different actually. It was as if I had like a bird's eye view of the room, the house,
Mm-hmm.
and there was something in each corner, like what would be an entity in each corner of the room, and they were like, "Oh yes, yes, we're here." Then I asked Archangel Michael for assistance, and then he used was like a vacuum energy and to suck them out of there, and then sent gold light above the house, and then I saw the room being filled with pink light.
Okay.
Um, and then, as you were talking about the large entity underneath the house, I saw it was, yeah, it was large, and it was actually um, trying to move to the side to the my right, like underneath. I could see like trying to move to hide itself, but it
Mm.
was large and it couldn't really hide itself that fast.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
good.
all.
Those entities you saw kind of scattered around the home. How big were they?
No, they didn't appear that big, but it was
Okay.
just not large as you described it, but it was like one in each corner. And if I
Yeah.
was
It
and
makes
right
sense.
away I saw four. It was not like I saw one and then
Mm. Yeah, I felt that they, as you described them, they are, I'd call them like their role is like they're kind of like scouts. So they will go to a place where
mm,
they can attract in or are working with larger entities and almost like a tracker, like, but they're in themselves, they're annoying. Like you would feel one if it was in the room. Often when
mhm,
you turn the lights off or it's quieter, because they're quite small and they're stealthy.
mhm,
Um, and yeah, I love that you saw, like I did not see those when I first, and it's easy for you to say, oh, it's just because I was focusing on large entity. No, I wasn't really paying attention. I was so distracted by the larger entity. So I'm glad you're able to pick them up as well and deal with them.
yeah, and it was like right away they were like, yes, yes, we're here.
Yeah.
I hope it helps. Lotus Bloom. Yeah, I had also seen smoke in the house and some other little worm-like images. Um,
Yeah, the I thought the portal was fascinating, right? Like
mhm,
portals are just so um discombobulating and they cause us they're so difficult for our human paradigms, our mental models to understand. But it's literally like opening your front door with a big sign outside, big neon sign saying anyone random in here, like that. And just to be clear, I don't give that permission, but it's like when that's what portals are energetically, and so all these things that come through, it causes this like real distraction and disorientation. And um, like at last night's in-person session, I was helping
mm,
someone close two portals in their home, and all the things they reported, like these different experiences, they're when you're on the receiving end of those, it's so confusing. Like, how do you make sense of different entities and different sizes and shapes and different energies? And it was fascinating that that entity, the largest one, had to like puncture through. It seemed like there is some protection already under your home that was stopping it getting through, and that's why it created this portal to pierce up through. So I closed that as well. And yeah, it's a pleasure to help you, Lotus Bloom. I hope
mhm.
just remember, this is a message for everyone. It's your home. Like you
Yeah.
get to choose who's in it. Just because they're not physical, they're not in the third dimension, does not mean to say you should give them permission. So, make sure that if you see or feel anything that doesn't feel right to you, just say it out loud, tell it to get out. And sometimes I'll like stand at my door and do that, or and in meditation every morning, I'm always creating this golden bubble of protective light around my home.
Mhm. was great. Now I have a question from Yanks.
Mhm.
Hi, John. I like a reading and healing in alignment with my highest good and soul mission from Source and my highest vibrational guides.
And it was healing and reading, did you say?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. So just asking Lotus Bloom and everyone else to step back from Viviane and I and asking Yan X, step forwards. I know who you are. I'm just not saying your name out unless you say your name in the chat. I'm just asking your guides, higher self to step forwards and to assist with any healing and any messages will help Yan X this time. So the message is it's like it's just all these things at once kind of dumped on me to explain. So the first thing, Yan X, is remember your mission, right? So it's just so important that you remember what it is and that you write it down in like at least 2 or 3 little bullet points about what it is you want to do in this life. And your mission is not just work, it's not just business, and it's not just financial. It is every aspect. And so that's why there's 3 points and not just one in your mission. Um, and so it's important, just like when you go to my webpage and you read through the My Future Vision by John Binney about what I want to do with my life, it includes a lot about, the camping and the work-life balance and the freedom and flexibility and the fun. That has to be in there. But the key message is that for you to remember this, because all these other things that are going on around you in your life, there's a lot of noise being generated. In some respects, noise being generated for you to learn this lesson, like the distractions, the things that will hold you back. And I'm not pretending that these, or should I say, your guide is not pretending that um, things magically fix themselves, but they greatly are diminished in their power when you keep focusing back on your mission, and that can be your dream life also. And I'm just feeling this in your heart now. It seems to produce this heaviness. It's like finances, and then there's some self doubt in there. What else is in your heart? Like, yeah, not really knowing whether it's you that can make these things that you dream of becoming possible. So it's in part self doubt, but almost like this belief mechanism, like no, like having at very least having a mental model that 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 feels like a truth to you, and that your truth is that someone like you or a version of you, it's possible, can make this happen. And I'm just feeling the right side of my heart like it's vibrating. And your guide saying that, John, is like when you're overworking, you're pushing too hard and trying to do much, do too much for others. We can't fix others, but we can help bring people back to their own healing, their own empowerment. Okay, let me just help with you clearing your heart. Turn to source, or never turn here again. And I saw that your guide, as I was doing that, your guide was showing me this practice, which is um, write down your 3 bullet points of what you want in your dream life and how it feels, and then to look at your the rest of the things. Like you write down a list of the rest of the things in your life, and it's a whole mix of things. Like you could say, finances, have an emotion; work, name it, have an emotion next to it. Like, and you write down these like 2 columns, and then you draw this line. Ideally, you order them, but if you can't be bothered ordering them all, just draw a line and say these are the things that are supportive of my achieving my mission, and the rest of these things, I'm removing your power. I'm taking this power away. And what you can do with that paper is like tear it up into little pieces and have a little fire safely, and like just put them in and set the intention as you put these words into this fire and say, I release you, I release you, I release your energy. How about you, Viviane? What did you get through?
Is I felt a lot of energy around my head and crown chakra. And I heard something about connecting to the heart, connecting, having this connection from the crown chakra to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. So I was looking at it. I'm looking for a reply too. There's a lot of light pressure on this area of my head, and then the top area of my head. And it was about connecting, making this connection from the heart space to the crown chakra. I'm trying to understand why. I saw the infinite sign now when I close my eyes. Trying to say reply. Hi, Gina.
Hello, Gina.
The answering. And hi, Penelope. I see Penelope came in too.
Yeah, I felt that. I don't know what you're getting through for the infinity loop, but it's like the crown chakra is like, I describe it as Yannick's is no, like you're receiving this communication, you know what it is you want to achieve, you know your mission, but your heart doesn't want to give weight to, like, you're scared of giving the kind of weight and emotion and energy to some of these beliefs and these messages. And some of that is linked to that self-doubt, but I do feel like encouraging that conversation through this like heart and mind combination, right? Like you have to think it, and then for it to be worth anything, thoughts are almost without density and without energy until your heart comes in and starts to believe. And this is big part of integration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Integration has to be, yes, that's for Yannick's. No, that's not for Yannick's. Like, you get to decide, and it's those feelings that you attribute and you attach onto these emotions. So yeah, really encouraging you to develop this practice of, perhaps for every thought that comes to you, write down the emotion that comes with it and reflect on that.
Yes, and then I heard now I just heard trust, and it's about you are on the right path, but you have to go with the flow. Just know that you are on the right path and go with the flow.
Yeah.
Um, that's what I got for you, Yanks. Thank you so much for your question. And now I have, yeah, working on heart and mind coherence. That's great. Let's see here. I have Emily. I just saw her question, Emily. May I please have a clearing and healing of any blockages, negative energy, or attachments causing me to feel paralyzed and stuck, feeling blocked by fear, regret, self-doubt, and attachment to the past.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Yannick, who also said thank you, John and Viviane. So just asking Emily to step forwards. Your guides and higher self would like to assist with blockages, feelings of being stuck, paralyzed, in particular with your past. Your guide is like just saying to me, I've told Emily again and again and again, you've got to let this go. You've got to let it go. What? She, your guide's trying to show me what the past is. Oh, okay. Yeah. Understand it. Please don't give that to my heart. Just bringing that energy out of my heart. It feels like, I can only describe it like a black hole. So it's like your guide, she was showing me this, that your heart's like this sphere, and then on the side of it's like this cone shape that is attached on one side, and it pulls out, gets smaller as it goes out. But the energy that it feels right now is really intense, almost like it's like suckered onto the side of your heart. And it's, yeah, it's like it's draining you, just draining you. Your guide's asking me to take a look, to look down here, to look down in this past. Your guide wants me to see this, but not to speak this out loud. So I'm just going to take a look. Okay. Okay, I understand. Thank you. So taking a step back out of your heart. So this has to come from you, Emily, and perhaps perhaps what I'm doing at the moment with you is, as you've given me permission, is helping you release this past, and anything you can do, everything you do to repeat energetically or to speak out loud what I'm saying and doing will help you greatly. This is really you that does this. And so first of all, with your past and those past traumas, I'm going to cut through with my light sword and release them first of all. They're not forgotten, but this draining effect on your heart. And you can repeat after me, I release my past, I release my traumas. And allow them to release from your heart. Okay. And it feels like they're just kind of shifted very slightly back, like just by a few inches from your heart. Oh, this is all helpful. Like this all helps your heart. And I'm just pushing what feels like it's like a severed cord to your past. Just pushing it outside of your body. And I'm just going to allow it to just stay at the moment within your energetic field. I'm going to seal off the top of that cone shape that I saw. And then I'm just going to focus on healing your heart, just bringing in this unconditional love from the highest dimension of source down into Emily's heart. And then grounding the energy into earth. Okay. And that ice you spoke of in the chat, Emily, of feeling like your body's full of ice, like there is this coldness. And the thaw, it is your self-love that will bring the thawing of this feeling. And imagine the opposite for a moment. Imagine what it feels like to have no self-love. It's almost like if we hypothetically had no self-love for ourselves, we'd be so disassociated with our bodies and with our consciousness that we just wouldn't care. Like we would not care at all whether we were alive or dead or happy or sad. There'd be nothing. There'd be not even a numbness. There'd be no emotion. And so, and this came up earlier as well. So helping ignite this fire in your heart and in your solar plexus, we're going to draw this attention back to your self-love and to help reignite this within your heart and within your belly. This is a gift that only you can give to you. So I'm not giving you your self-love, but I'm helping you bring your awareness to it, to the concept that you deserve unconditional love for yourself, for every aspect of yourself, your darkness, your light, and everything in between, your happiness in your life, the deepest sadness in your life. And you can place your left hand on your heart and the right hand on your solar plexus and repeat after me, Emily, I love you. Emily, I forgive you. Emily, I forgive all those that have harmed me. And I release everything that no longer serves me. Okay, I can feel that's helping a bit. Now, just to be really clear, you do not accept those that break your boundaries. Do not accept those that try to harm you. You do not accept anything that makes you feel unsafe or dims your light in any way. And to help you with this, I bring down this column of golden light into your heart, and I ignite this fire with this dragon light language. And then down into your solar plexus to ignite that infinite sun, that fire that burns within you forever. Your self trust, your self love, and your abundance, and that constantly fuels the fire of your heart. Yeah. Good. And for this past, this cone that we separated earlier, I'd like you to release this to your memories and your knowing. It's up to you what you do with your past, and perhaps you'd like to either now you can release this and return this energy attached to it to return to source or never return here again. Or perhaps you'd like to write down a few of the words that symbolize or the names of those involved that symbolize this past, even if it's your own name, and just take those up, just screw them up into little balls of paper and burn those and release them. And you never need to forget. You never need to forget, but it's important to release the energy attached to those. And after all of this work, it's the forgiveness of yourself and the self love that is the most powerful. I hope that helps. How did you get on, Viviani?
I heard from Emily's guides, it's time, and they first said it's time to let go and move forward. And while I heard that, I saw her inside a circle, and she was walking in circles and kept in this stuck in this pattern. Then I saw her walking away from the circle, and
Mm,
then placing her hands on her heart and saying, "I am love, I am love, I am love." And yes, it needs to stepping away from that because it's time to let go and move forward from this and remember that that she's love and love is around her, and that would be um, the step is the hard, it's not easy, but it's the step that she needs to take
yeah,
for her healing.
yeah, definitely.
So I hope that helps. Emily, sending you love. And thank you all for being here. And I am sorry, to those that I apologize to those that didn't get an answer today, but we have John will be back with a guest on Thursday. And if you want to tell us a little bit more about that, you have a guest coming up to join you on Thursday for the readings. And you mentioned that earlier.
That's right. Yep. Amanda from Lotus Leo is joining us, and she's fantastic. She'll be doing healings, readings, and clearings as we work through
Mhm.
together. And yeah, I also was guided to share, and I just want to thank you all for your love and support and in the chat and everything you do outside of it. If you're ever wondering, especially when you feel financially restricted and you feel like, oh, how could I show gratitude or support this sort of work? Like literally all the likes and subscribes and comments and here and comments on the video, sharing us
Mhm.
with your friends, it really helps. Like it will never know that it will never diminish the service we give to you or the opportunity we'll give it to you. It'll only ever increase it. And it's not just for Viviani and I, it's for anyone that you see doing this sort of work where you resonate with it and you think, I want to help this help. Like I feel aligned that more people should be doing this, including yourself. Like these are great ways of supporting. And thank you for Kayla for helping like trigger that within me. Sometimes we feel like just like that one as a single person, how could we make a difference? But know that everyone does. That's how it works. um, And it's the energy behind what you do that has the biggest effect, not just us.
Mhm.
We're not subservient to algorithms. We're trying to educate them about the sorts of things that we like as humans and what we'd like this future world to be. So thank you for your love and support, and thank you, Viviane, for
Well,
another incredible live.
thank you so much.
Um,
I love doing this, and I know you do too. You know, we could go for hours, but yeah, it's so nice to see everyone in the chat and also helping each other and supporting each other. Yeah, I love doing this. So thank you for having me.
oh, thank you. And I will bring us to a close. Thank you to our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metron, Source and Guy, every soul that's participated in today's session, including in the live and in the replay. And I'm asking us all to step outside of this bubble that we created for the session. As I close it down and clear it up, please return to Source or never return here again. We can all continue to remain in our own individual bubbles of protection, whatever we decide to have around us for as long as we wish, and setting the intention for all of those who have directly and also indirectly or experienced in some way the messages and healings that we've offered today, suggesting that you get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water. If you're like me, I'm about to go outside and walk barefoot on the grass and allow anything that no longer serves me to return into earth, to be transmuted. And I'd just like to thank you all again. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday. Thank you and take care, everyone. I'll end the live stream at that. Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye.
Well, bye.